about Bike Shop Brewing Company, such as when did it open and what are your business goals?
So we've been open just a little over a year, but it's been something in the making for probably closer to 3 years. Just 4 guys that got together and had a passion for craft beer and wanted to bring craft beer to West Sacramento. We were the first craft beer tap room to open up here. There's other breweries, but we were the first to have a tap room. It was really just a way to introduce a passion of ours with craft beer to the community, which we wanted to be a strong part of the community, not just offer service, but actually connect with people. We're hearing that we're doing that quite a bit.
Great. So have you used Atlas Food Waste Collection Program since the opening of your brewery?
No. Actually, my day job, I was working with Atlas and Clean Worlds and hearing about their services and what they were doing. We were using our spent grain either for farmers or often just dumping it. Feeling kind of guilty about that. So once I met the folks at Atlas and Clean World, we decided that was probably a better use for our grain. And as we're continuing to grow, we're having a lot more product that we need to throw in the waste bins. And so it's we think it's going to be a pretty good part for us to provide something.
Great. So what was the main incentive for you and your company in having your organic waste collected?
It was really just making sure that we're doing the right thing. Based on what I was saying before, we really wanted to be part of the community. It's not just the community here in West Sacramento, but the regional community as well. And so, sending our spent grain to Clean World and Atlas, is going to have an impact on air quality and just our general, well-being here in the region. So, just we wanted to be part of that larger community and do something with Clean World and Atlas. Sending our spent grain there so that they can do the right thing as well.
Great.
We're going to go into the Nugget and Whole Foods at first, and then some of the local bottle shops. We actually we're working with the Nugget to take a really small portion of our spent grain, and they're going to use it in their bakery to make bread. So, yeah.
I think it's more that other businesses kind of follow suit to what you're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, there's, not only is there a benefit to the business to show that you're, thinking about this and being part of that community, but, you got to think about your larger community as well. So I just think that making decisions like this, it really isn't that much more expensive. It's going to pencil out for you in the long run. So I think absolutely every business that has some sort of waste product like Bite Dog or your restaurant should be thinking about ways that you can get rid of that waste
And I think this is something that not a lot of businesses maybe who are into production think about, but during the process where RNG is created at Atlas Fuel, some of that waste is actually made into a fertilizer that goes into maybe some of the grain that produces your crop. So
absolutely, it's the full cycle, and we're looking at how we can source more of our grain and our hops and the various ingredients that go into our beer locally. So if Atlas Refuel is putting that back out into the community, then we're going to benefit from that on the back end. Absolutely. Our small brew house, this is where the beer is made. This is actually where the grain goes in, goes through the brewing process, and actually once, it's about an 8-hour process, and once the grain is actually into the beer, then you put it into the waste disposals that you see outside. But once the beer is done in here, it's actually transferred into these are fermentation tanks. This is where the wort sits. You then throw the yeast in and it goes through the process of actually making the beer. But in terms of this, the grain disposal, once we're done here, we ship it out to our 2 3 cubic yard waste bins outside, and Atlas picks those up once a week.